There was a lot of people that met with him and did business with him and traveled with him after he was arrested. I'm not going. Yeah, I'm in the files for not going because Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
Before any secret files ever hit the public, Jeffrey Epstein was already surrounded by billionaires, politicians, tech moguls, and A-list celebrities. But one person who sensed something dark behind the glitz was Joe Rogan. He's now spilling the tea on what the FBI tried to hide, from the mysterious names in Epstein's secret black book to what really happened on that private jet, the so-called Lolita Express. On a recent episode of his show, Rogan dropped a shocking bomb. He revealed that way back in 2017, one of his own guests, Lawrence Krauss, the theoretical physicist, actually tried to introduce him to Epstein. Can you believe that? Rogan said the whole thing gave him bad vibes from the start. And now that the unredacted Epstein files are coming out, it's clear his gut was right all along. The newly released files confirm everything, and they even include an email exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Lawrence Krauss that'll make your jaw drop. Epstein was apparently desperate to get an introduction to Joe Rogan. In one message, Epstein wrote something bizarre. "It is wild, like Damascus. How are things? I saw you did the Joe Rogan show. Can you introduce me? I think he's funny." Can you imagine that? Krauss reached out, but Rogan wasn't having it. He wanted no part of that shady scene. Still, Epstein wouldn't give up. He even tried to sweeten the deal by saying Rogan could have dinner with Woody Allen on Friday if he agreed to meet.
We'll have an understanding of how things are really working than ever before.
Yeah.
Like this Epstein file thing, right? That was a big eye-opener for a lot of people. When you see how many people after 2008, after he was arrested, after he went to jail, were actively taking money from him. MIT took money from him and tried to hide it and said to make sure that any donations from Jeffrey are listed as anonymous.
Krauss later followed up with another message saying, "Sorry about Rogan. So far, he seems more timid than I would have thought." That line alone says everything. At that point, Epstein was already a convicted offender, yet somehow he was still out there living large, partying with world leaders, tech titans, and celebrities. The guy was emailing with names like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Prince Andrew, and even Jay-Z. The circles he ran in were unreal. And Joe? He instantly sensed something off about the whole situation. He later said that Alex Jones had been calling this out years before anyone believed it. Jones was talking about what was happening on Epstein's island and that infamous private plane long before the world even knew the full story. Wild.
I mean, a bunch of these things are not like, it's common knowledge, but we don't actually have the proof.
Right.
So the proof is there. I mean, there's lots of videos.
Joe Rogan later admitted that the only reason he stayed clear of Epstein's twisted world was because of Alex Jones. Years before the story exploded, Alex had warned him straight up on the show. He said Epstein wasn't just some rich guy throwing fancy parties, but someone running a dark operation behind closed doors. According to Joe, Alex kept saying that something evil was going down on Epstein's island. It wasn't just about luxury or power. He claimed Epstein was using the place as a trap, inviting powerful people over, drugging them, and secretly filming everything to collect blackmail material. It was all about control, and Alex was convinced Epstein was using this dirt to keep his connections untouchable. By 2017, Epstein was already a convicted offender, yet somehow billionaires like Bill Gates were still keeping contact with him. That alone raised major red flags. How could someone with that kind of past still have so much access to power?
Yeah, I think the public will be rightly frustrated if no one is prosecuted for the Epstein client list, no one at all. Which no one, like at least I don't know, the top 5 or something, like some number. There should at least be an attempted prosecution of the worst offenders.
The story only gets darker from here, because why was Epstein collecting all that blackmail material in the first place? And how did a guy like him even get so close to the world's most powerful people? Being tight with both the Saudi elite and the British royal family doesn't just happen by chance. And don't forget, President Bill Clinton was photographed right beside Epstein on multiple occasions. That kind of access doesn't come easy. It's like Epstein was placed in those circles for a reason. But by who? That's the question that keeps everyone guessing. Joe Rogan believes the answer might be even more explosive than anyone expected. He suggested that Epstein wasn't just a rich socialite. He could have been an asset, working under a foreign government's orders. According to Rogan, Epstein's entire empire, the jets, the private islands, the mansions scattered across the globe, might have been bankrolled by the people he was really serving. So then comes the big mystery. How did Epstein actually afford all of this? Every twisted secret Epstein kept was written down in what's now known as Epstein's secret black book. Inside, he listed everything: names, dates, phone numbers, everyone who ever visited his island, along with the names of the victims. It was basically his personal record of the powerful and the trapped, all in one place. But here's the creepy part. There was said to be only one copy of that black book in existence. Even after Epstein's conviction, it completely vanished. No one could find it anywhere. Until 2009, when the FBI got word that someone online was claiming they had it and wanted to sell it. That's when the feds launched a full sting operation, and the footage from that bust has just been included in the latest document release. The 2009 video shows Epstein's former Palm Beach house manager, Alfredo Rodriguez, trying to sell what he claimed was the little black book.
Last names, area codes, it's okay.
Who created this book?
It's the Epstein itself.
This book was made by Epstein?
This is a video of an FBI sting operation with Jeffrey Epstein's former house manager and an undercover FBI employee from 2009. The Palm Beach house manager, Alfredo Rodriguez, believes he is selling Epstein's address book to someone representing a lawyer of Epstein's victims.
You will see a lot of important people here.
He claims that the book contains contacts of powerful people, as well as Epstein's victims.
Packed with contacts of the world's most powerful people and a list of Epstein's victims. In that same footage, Rodriguez dropped another chilling detail. He claimed that Ghislaine Maxwell had her own secret database, allegedly filled with names of girls and even explicit material. The whole thing sounds like something straight out of a spy movie, but it was all too real. That secret database Ghislaine Maxwell supposedly kept has never been found. And even after Epstein's death, she's still refusing to cooperate with the FBI. It really makes you wonder, what or who is she so terrified of? And it wasn't just Epstein's island where these disturbing things went down. His infamous private jet, the Lolita Express, was just as much a part of the operation. According to victim testimonies, Epstein never traveled alone. He'd always bring several young women with him, on board in case he got bored, as one report put it. That's horrifying.
What's even worse, everyone on that plane saw what was happening. The pilots, the flight attendants, even other passengers. Yet nobody said a word. They all stayed silent, pretending nothing was wrong while it unfolded right in front of them. They helped him hide everything, protecting him like nothing was happening. The silence of everyone around him says more than any document ever could. They knew and they still kept quiet. The latest batch of Epstein files also dives deep into the disturbing history of his private jet, the Lolita Express. These documents spell out exactly how Epstein used the plane to fly his guests all over the world, mixing luxury with secrecy. According to the flight logs and official records, that jet pops up over and over again in connection with Epstein's movements. He wasn't just flying across the country, he was taking international trips, often with powerful guests right beside him. One leaked email dated January 7, 2020, titled Ari Epstein Flight Records, drops a shocking detail. It states that Donald Trump appeared as a listed passenger on at least 8 flights between 1993 and 1996.
Wealth was so vast, the fact that he had this fleet of planes. We've heard a lot about the Lolita Express. What happened on the Lolita Express?
Everything that happened on the Lolita Express and his other planes was the same thing that happened in his bedrooms, in the massage rooms, on the beach, wherever we were. The abuse did not stop because we're in the air. 95% of the time, there was always involved. Jeffrey couldn't take a 2-hour flight without having to ejaculate. That's how sick this man was.
Even more telling, the same email claims that Ghislaine Maxwell was on at least 4 of those flights too. And get this, one of the 1993 entries reportedly lists only Epstein and Trump as the passengers on board. Another flight log mentions 3 names, Epstein, Trump, and a 20-year-old woman, but the rest of that line is completely blacked out in the public release. The secrecy surrounding those redacted details leaves everyone wondering,
What else is still being hidden behind those black bars? Now, to be fair, just being listed on Epstein's flight logs doesn't automatically prove guilt. Those records simply show association and travel, not criminal activity. But still, seeing names like Donald Trump and other powerful figures on those official logs has made people question everything. Why were they even flying with Epstein in the first place? And the story doesn't stop there. Just yesterday, the Department of Justice released the names of 6 more billionaires connected to Jeffrey Epstein, names that had been hidden for years under heavy redaction. It only happened after several senators directly demanded that the DOJ unseal those identities. The fact that it took that kind of pressure to make it happen has people asking, what else are they keeping secret? How many more big names are buried in those files? And why does the DOJ seem so hesitant to show the full truth? The public's starting to lose patience. One viral post summed it up perfectly. Instead of redacting the victims' names like they were supposed to, the DOJ redacted the predators' names. They were supposed to protect victims, but they protected predators. That line alone says everything. Another tweet that's been blowing up online said it best. I don't think the DOJ cares about protecting the victims. They're clearly protecting the predators because those predators are rich, powerful, and politically connected. It's the most backwards, corrupt cover-up in history. That statement hit hard, and honestly, a lot of people agree.
It was very dark.
Very
because
dark.
It seems like it was this bizarre blackmail influence thing that was going on for a long
For so long.
time.
Through different administrations. That's what's so unbelievable about it.
It's
How
dark.
long it was going on.
Joe Rogan even brought this up on his podcast, saying it's beyond suspicious that no one from Epstein's infamous client list has faced prosecution. The names are sitting right there in the files, and everyone knows the FBI has video evidence too. So why isn't anyone being held accountable? Even more shocking, the recent document release only covers about 3 million files, which is said to be just 20% of what the FBI actually has on Epstein. That means there are millions more pages locked away, untouched. If the authorities really wanted to, they could start making arrests tomorrow. But instead, nothing's happening. Total silence. It's wild to think that Epstein's Black Book was first recovered all the way back in 2009, and yet after all these years, not a single person from that list has been charged, tried, or convicted. It's like the deeper people dig, the clearer it gets. Someone, somewhere is making sure those names stay protected.
You find out like people are like, they refer to him as Voldemort, like you couldn't say his name.
Wow.
There was a lot of people that met with him and did business with him and traveled with him after he was arrested, after he went to jail.
Do you spend a lot of time reading them?
No, I try not to. I try to have experts come on.
Many people believe the reason nothing's being done is because of who Epstein's guests really were. People so powerful and connected that exposing them could shake entire governments. Some reports have even claimed that Epstein might have been secretly working for Mossad or other intelligence agencies. But to this day, there's no verified public evidence proving that he was operating under any official intelligence network. Those claims are still just unproven allegations that continue to swirl online and in the media. What has been proven, though, is that several high-ranking figures are now facing serious backlash over their links to Epstein. For example, Peter Mandelson, the UK's former ambassador to America, lost his position back in September after leaked Epstein emails revealed their relationship was far closer than he'd ever admitted. That revelation alone set off a firestorm. And then there's Prince Andrew, one of the most infamous names tied to this entire scandal. Virginia Roberts Giuffre publicly alleged that she was trafficked by Epstein and instructed to be with Andrew when she was just 17. That accusation turned the royal family upside down and added even more heat to a case already burning with controversy.
It took a lot of people involved. It took doctors, psychiatrists, gynecologists, dentists. All these people knew what was going on, hairstylists. I mean, the list goes on. I could keep going on and on and on. Drivers, chauffeurs, butlers, housemaids. It took all of these people turning a blind eye which they weren't blind to because we were right there blatantly in front of them. They knew exactly what was going on.
Prince Andrew has always denied every accusation against him, but the fallout from the scandal was massive. The royal family couldn't ignore the storm. King Charles himself stepped in, stripping Andrew of his honorary military titles and royal patronages. Not only that, Andrew was forced to step back completely from public royal duties, marking one of the biggest royal scandals in modern history. And while Epstein may be gone, Ghislaine Maxwell is still around, and she's keeping quiet. Victims have testified again and again that she was deeply involved in the abuse, helping Epstein manage everything and keep control over the victims. Yet somehow she's dodged full accountability.
Just last week, Ghislaine was summoned to testify once more, but once again, she refused to answer any questions. Her silence is only fueling more suspicion. What is she hiding, and who was she protecting? Even with Ghislaine staying silent, the pressure around this case is heating up like never before. New leaks keep surfacing, hinting that there's way more buried beneath the surface. Files, tapes, and witness statements that still haven't seen daylight. People are beginning to wonder if the real story has only just started to unfold. Whispers online say there are insiders ready to talk, but they're scared of the same network of influence that protected Epstein for years. Some former staff members claim they were offered hush money or threatened to keep quiet about what they saw inside those mansions and on that island. The idea that powerful names might still be pulling strings from behind the scenes has the public demanding answers louder than ever. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan hasn't stopped talking about it either. On his show, he said this whole situation feels bigger than one man, that it's a system built to protect the rich while burying the truth. And honestly, that's exactly what it's starting to look like. Now, everyone's asking the same haunting question. If the truth about Epstein and his connections ever comes out fully, how many more powerful figures will fall with him? The silence from the top only makes people more convinced that something massive is still being covered up. The most shocking twist yet might be coming soon. Rumors are spreading that a new batch of Epstein-related documents is about to be unsealed, and this time,
some people get intoxicated by being in a circle of rich and powerful people, even if they're not, like, they don't even have any ambitions of being one of those people. They just want to be around them. They want to be around Nobel Prize winners, and because this guy was, what he was doing was very clever in that he was getting all of these very powerful and very respected people together.
It could expose names that even the FBI didn't want public. Insiders are claiming that these files include private emails, travel receipts, and photos that connect Epstein's network to global leaders, media executives, and top figures in the entertainment industry. If that's true, this next release could shake everything. Investigators close to the case say the documents could include proof that Epstein's operation ran deeper than anyone imagined, not just a web of blackmail, but a full-on system built to trap and control powerful people across countries. Some sources are even suggesting that certain people tied to the files are already preparing legal defenses, just in case their names go public. Meanwhile, social media is in a frenzy. Hashtags like Epstein List and Unseal Everything are trending again, with millions demanding transparency. People are tired of redacted pages and half-truths. They want to see every name, every file, every piece of evidence out in the open. As the heat builds, Joe Rogan's latest podcast teased that the next drop might finally show how high up this really goes. If that's true, the fallout won't just hit celebrities, it could rattle entire governments. The world might be on the edge of the biggest revelation yet. As the world braces for this potential document dump, the silence from the people named so far is deafening. None of the high-profile figures linked to Epstein have made a public statement, not a word. Their PR teams are scrambling, lawyers are on standby, and social media accounts tied to them are suddenly going quiet. It's like they all know something big is about to drop, and they're getting ready to go into hiding.
Behind the scenes, journalists are racing to verify the leaked materials, but many are saying they're being blocked or pressured to stop digging. Some reporters have even hinted that major outlets are being warned not to publish certain names until further review. That alone has people fuming online because it feels like another cover-up in plain sight. Meanwhile, conspiracy boards and online forums are lighting up with theories about how deep Epstein's web actually goes. People are connecting dots between global banking, secret meetings, and political favors that now seem a little too convenient.
How did you live every day? How did you get on board that plane? How did you live knowing you're going off to New York or to the island or to wherever you were about to be trafficked to? You must have been a ball of dread and anxiety.
I was.
Joe Rogan and a few other independent voices are calling this the biggest scandal no one's allowed to talk about, and they might be right. The question now is, when the truth finally comes out, will the justice system have the courage to act, or will these powerful names just vanish behind another wall of silence and privilege? Now the tension is reaching a breaking point. More insiders are stepping forward, dropping hints that the upcoming files could expose a network, not just Epstein's personal circle, but a chain of people who helped him stay untouchable for decades. Lawyers, bankers, pilots, assistants, even government contacts, all allegedly played a part in keeping his operation running smoothly while pretending not to see a thing. Some sources claim that investigators are finally connecting the money trail, tracking offshore accounts, luxury property purchases, and shell companies that might have been used to move Epstein's fortune in and out of secret hands. If this financial map gets confirmed, it could finally show how deep the protection around him really went. What's making things even crazier is that leaked memos reportedly show internal debates inside federal agencies, arguments over which names should stay redacted for national security reasons. That phrase alone has the internet losing its mind. What could possibly be so dangerous that it's considered a national security risk to expose? At this point, the Epstein case isn't just about one man. It's about a system that protected him and everyone tied to him. And as Joe Rogan put it on his show, if those names ever come out unedited, the whole world's power structure might change overnight. It sounded less like a scandal and more like the start of a reckoning. The countdown to the next release has everyone on edge, even people who had nothing to do with Epstein and nervous. Rumors are spreading that some of the names in these files belong to world leaders who are still in power. If that turns out to be true, this won't just be another scandal. It'll be an international earthquake shaking politics, business, and entertainment all at once.
A source familiar with the case confirmed the video shows the sting operation, which court documents show happened 2 years after the FBI demanded that Rodriguez turn over any Epstein documents. Instead, court documents say he kept the address book and tried to sell it for $50,000.
Really? Are you?
In the occasionally redacted 45-minute video of the meeting, Rodriguez implicates Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's close associate, who's now serving a 20-year sentence for of minors.
Ghislaine Maxwell was
Whistleblowers are hinting that the upcoming batch of files might also include flight manifests, offshore bank transfers, and even coded messages between Epstein's associates. One insider said the documents could show how Epstein stayed protected no matter who got caught. That one statement has everyone speculating just how far this network reached.
Even more shocking, leaked text suggests that certain people inside government circles were warned about Epstein's arrest before it happened. If that's confirmed, it means someone powerful was tipping him off. The tension online is explosive. Every social feed is flooded with theories, leaks, and names that people are demanding the DOJ verify.
Everyone's turned a blind eye in the place where I was supposed to be protected, in my country where I was supposed to be protected. The justice system failed us then. I believe they're going to do something amazing for us now. I really believe in them. I believe that the New York Southern District wants to do the right thing, and I will do everything that I can do to be a part of helping them do that.
Joe Rogan said on his podcast that this could be the one time the whole house of cards collapses. And judging by how fast new details are emerging, that might not be an exaggeration. The question everyone's asking now, when the truth drops, will the system finally break? So here's the question, and no one can stop asking. If Jeffrey Epstein was really working alone, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell still so terrified to speak out? What could she possibly be protecting, and who has that kind of power even after Epstein's death? The silence around her screams that this story isn't over, not even close. Every new file, every leak, every hidden name adds another layer to this insane mystery. It's not just about one man's crimes anymore, it's about the entire system that helped him hide in plain sight. There's still so much to uncover: the timelines, the verified facts, and the rumors that are still being sorted out. If you want deeper breakdowns of the Epstein files, behind-the-scenes timelines, and updates on what's actually confirmed versus what's still speculation, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. I'll keep digging through every document, separating truth from hype, and connecting the dots others are too scared to touch. And hey, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe this is a total failure of the justice system, or is there something even bigger happening behind the scenes? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the truth deserves to be seen by everyone.